So before we talk about ship builds, let's take a look at the target. Kixeye is giving us a preview of the elite target for next raid cycle in this VXP weekend. So a few things we need to know. The yellow areas in the water are toxic or radioactive or whatever, corrosive probably. And you gotta avoid them. If your ships go through them, you take damage. There are drones, they're real fast, and they're healed by these other two ships. So if you can kill the two ships first, do it, but otherwise just try to outrun the drones and damage them fast. So high damage output's important. They stun you, and when they stun you, they get stunned back as well. That's reverse for you, sounds dumb, but that's what they do. So if you have anti-stun, stun resistance is important, because then you get out of stun before they do and you kill them quicker. So that's a good thing to have. So agility system is one component we'll be needing. We also need speed to try and stay at maximum range against them and against the Pancake. The Pancake has some UAVs. You can outrange the UAVs, and the Pancake moves real slow at first, but as soon as it takes damage, it goes into a berserk mode and moves real fast towards you, and then the UAVs will fire at you, and they do a lot of damage. So that's one of those turn and run. Right, you approach, you hit, you turn back and you run. So we need very fast turn speed and straight line speed. Same for many of these turrets, especially this one here. Let me zoom in. This turret fires a lot of corrosive pellets, but in straight line you can outrun them. Okay, so that's another key feature to have, straight line speed. And don't make funny moves here when you're in range of this turret. Most of these turrets as well, the missiles here, the brimstone, we can also outrun them. Okay, as long as you keep moving in a straight line, there shouldn't be a problem. And the rest of the targets are repetition of that. So you're gonna have 4 clusters of drone ships and pancakes with UAVs, and a few clusters of turrets. So try to take the ships first and then go for the turrets, avoiding the bright yellow spots in the water. Okay, so we know we need anti-stun, stun resistance, we need straight line and turn speed. Okay, and we need range. So 4 very important things to keep in mind when hitting these targets. This was my Apollo fleet from last year's assault cycle. So this is what I built and used successfully to fight the Legion mega hulls. I had 1 Savage Kodiak flagship I kept in the corner, and then 3 Apollos. So some people build the Zoe Apollo and it's a better flagship, no questions, because you can take it in combat with you. But this was a successful option to hit most targets. Now, Kixeye is saying that the Apollo will only be good up to tier 4 targets, so we cannot take it into the big one in there, otherwise it gets vaporized real fast. This is last year's build with some minor changes. I tried putting 2 Scoria missiles in it. I put 1 D5 CO armor in it. But I kept most of the blades from last year and the 2 Phalanx 4s I had last year, as well as the same specials. Now, for this cycle, the one change I would make here, I would replace interception system with agility system 3 or 4 if you have the limited version. That's primarily for the stun resistance bonus, but also for the evade. Once you get the evade and the stun resistance from agility system, replacing this special I have, I would keep reactive armor, I would keep speed system 5, keep the frontline countermeasure unless you don't have any countermeasures on your ship. You can put siege battery then. And I would keep the guided missile system. Okay. Then once you get agility system here, I would replace those D2E plates with either corrosive or anti-missile armor. I don't know which one's going to be the best right now because I don't know the balance between corrosive and penetrative damage from the targets. So the armor is the trickiest part to get right at this point. So if you were to build Apollos right now, I'd say a basic build takes about 12 days. There are 2 ways you could go about it. You could build them using the Scoria missile or blades. I believe the Scoria is better if you choose the right specials. So the Scoria has double the damage when compared against the blade, but it also reloads a lot slower. Okay, the blade reloads in 4 seconds and the Scoria reloads in 9. So to counter that, the right special to choose is the counter missile extender, because it gives you the range you need, but also gives a 30% reload bonus. Okay, that combined with the Apollo base reload gives you a total of 170% reload. Okay, this guy will also give your countermeasures, if you put any, extra range, but will not give them extra accuracy. So you're giving up countermeasure accuracy for missile, faster missile reload. So that's a trade-off, keep that in mind. The other special you could consider here is the guided missile system. This one will give you more accuracy on the missile, and will make it retargetable, which you really don't need in these targets much. You know, especially because the Apollo already has that. I mean, even if I don't put that special in here, the Apollo is already retargetable. So all you're getting from guided missile system is accuracy, while counter missile extender gives you reload. Okay, but when you use guided missile system, you can actually use frontline countermeasure. Sorry, when you use the counter missile extender, you cannot use frontline countermeasure, so you're forced to see it's disabled here. So you cannot give your countermeasures any extra accuracy, so you're forced to use siege battery. Or if you want faster build time, you can use the garrison battery if you have it. Okay, you lose a little bit on building damage, but you get the same turret defense as a R15 siege battery 3 for lower build time. So it's up to you. So in a ship like this, you could also have a mix. Okay, you could have some Apollos with all Scoria. Okay, and use this combo here. And then, as I said, if the drones and the stun and all that kind of stuff we see in the elite target right now, if that's also present in the lower tier targets, you definitely need agility system as your last special. Okay, agility system 3 is the regular special. If you have agility system 4, even better. Okay, I'm gonna go with this one just so we see build times. So like I said, about 12 days before you put any armor. Now you could have perhaps 2 ships like this. Okay, and then if you want to put some countermeasures, you could load the countermeasures on just 2 of the ships, or you can make all 4 of them the same. Like I have my 3 Apollos all the same. So I added 2 heavy flanks 4 over here. Okay, now you have extra range, but you don't have extra accuracy. Okay, that's my build here. Again, if you want the accuracy, the choice you should make here instead is guided missile system. You will lose reload, but then you can come here and you're also going to lose building damage. But the main problem in these targets are not the turrets, they're actually the ships, so you might want to consider that. But now you can use frontline countermeasure system, which gives your flanks here both range and extra accuracy. Okay, that build takes a little bit longer, it's about 13 days without armor, but I would go with one of these 2. If you don't have Scorias, go Blades. If you got the Talons by any chance and somehow didn't get the new ship, the Phoenix, you could put Talons in here as well. But I go with Scoria or Blades if that's the best you have. As for armor, now we have stun resistant. We have very high penetrative defense. And if you use a flagship like the Savage Kodiak or the River equivalent, it's an old ship. I'm going to show that to you in a moment. That get buffed even higher. So now the problem is corrosive. Corrosive is low. So here I would choose and favor corrosive armor over more missile armor. So let's see how many D5 CO plates we can put in. Probably not many. So one way is 2 of those. So now we went from 60 to 73% and deflection went up by 40. So that's one way you can do that. Or we can try lighter armors, but in the end the results very similar because they give less defense. Okay, so if we go and pick a whole bunch of those, now you're not gaining any extra deflection, but the repair time is going to be similar, and we got a little bit of a better corrosive defense, 74. It's a bit higher than 72, 73 you had before, but you don't get the extra deflection, so it's your choice. Okay, so that build here complete is about close to 14 days for me. I have the officer, I have R&D 30, it may be 15, 16 days for you. But here's an Apollo build, okay? You could go with this. I would prefer 2 of the heavy ones, just because of the extra deflection. Okay. So let's clear. There. Okay. And the other option, like I said, counter missile extender here and siege battery here. I would be inclined to build like that, but I'm honestly not sure if this will perform better than the other setup. Okay, especially because you lose accuracy here, but you gain range and you gain building damage. Okay, and reload. For the Scoria, the reload is really important. So that's how I build the Apollos for this raid. 4 like this, plus a Savage Kodiak flagship, or let me find the other one. So the Grimshine's Wrath. This is the best option because, or third, I mean the first best option for Apollos would be the Zoe Apollo flagship. The second best would be an empty Savage Kodiak that gives plus 50% pen resistance and plus 50% reload. The Grimshine Wrath won't give you the 50% resistance, but will give you on the flagship effect here, gives you the penetrative reload. Okay, an empty shell that you could put in the corner takes 6 days to build. It's a long investment for an old ship. But these are your choices for the moment if you're going to build Apollos.